The unemployment capital with 40% youth unemployment. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article from the ABC because it shines some light onto, well, the significant youth unemployment in some areas of Australia and, well, the jobless unemployment capital for Queensland. So, 6 months ago, former Bundaberg journalist Chris Burns couldn't make a coffee to save his life, but he's completed a hospitality training course in hopes of finding a new career after he was made redundant by News Corp in May, along with hundreds of other reporters around Australia. I honestly would think that wouldn't you go become an independent reporter and go online? I guess that's more entrepreneurial. That's not a steady income, is it? Mr. Burns' first concern was for his boss, who had to break the news to his staff. But the next day, after a few drinks with colleagues, the reality of losing his job at the age of 30 in a region with one of the highest unemployment figures in Australia hit him. I bawled my eyes out, he said. Far from his family in Western Australia and feeling confused and concerned about finding a new job in a city that hit a staggering 40.8% youth unemployment rate in July, Mr. Burns pushed himself to retrain and find new opportunities. My identity was my job, he says. I think that's a very, very common male trait, to be quite honest. So I guess it was about changing the narrative. What was I going to do next? I finished on Friday, and then I started studying hospitality on Monday. Why are you getting into hospitality? That's so dependent on the tourism sector, which is just tanking. And in Bundy. Okay. Surely you could be a copywriter. Surely you could do a whole lot of other things with journalism skills. Couldn't you? You know, do work online, write other things, make content. So be strong, be ready. Impact Community Services Recruitment Advisor David Maxey Fisher said while it could be hard for people older than 30 to find a new career, Wide Bay still offered jobs in hospitality, health, and seasonal agricultural work. He said overcoming self-doubt and negativity were sometimes the toughest challenges when it came to rejoining the workforce. Work for a lot of people is who they are, Mr. Maxey Fisher said. When that's suddenly taken away, it's a natural human reaction to think you were the problem, when in fact that's not the case. A positive attitude could outweigh a lack of experience for job seekers, Mr. Maxey Fisher said, but community support was also vital to those experiencing sudden job losses. I think the whole political chatter basically blaming unemployed people for being unemployed needs to stop, he said. We need to be there to look after each other. You need your mates around you to make sure you keep to a routine and you're exercising, you're getting enough sleep, and your diet is good. Because that is going to help you be strong and ready to do the study, ready to apply for a job. So many are out there. But with 40% unemployment, see, I would just, rather than training for a hospitality job, surely his skills could be deployed somewhere else. I mean, it's a big region. You're a journalist. Why you could start your own blog, and you've got all the contacts there. Build something up, get some local advertising revenue. Or is that too entrepreneurial? I mean, I've always had my own business since when I graduated from university, I went to the Architectural Practice Academy, a 2-year program with the government. I think I was in there for a year and a half before I registered as an architect, and then I started to practice. So it's been a long time since I've been employed for someone else. I've always had to go out there and find a job. I guess that's just my approach to things, probably how I was raised. So many out there. Mr. Burns is hitting the streets, handing out resumes after completing his hospitality course. He wants to remind others to be prepared to help those searching for a new career. Just check on people, he said. There are so many of us out there, it's not just me. We're really struggling and doing it tough. The worst thing I've had from friends is when they ask how I'm doing and I say I'm struggling and they back away. Be prepared to help them. Well, I mean, he's right there. This is, in some ways, particularly in Bundaberg, there's a shelter there, a men's shelter that's trying to get off the ground to provide refuge for male victims of domestic violence where they can actually stay with their children. And the lads up there, I've done interviews with them in the past on this channel, they've been having a tough time getting up and running. So they finally started up because there's nothing like that in the country, guys. There's nothing like that in all of Australia for blokes. Nothing dedicated to them. You know, a lot of people are shocked when they realize how unfair the system is. But, you know, they end up having to switch over to running a little, an op shop to sell goods and services to get people going. So, what do you think, everyone? You know, youth unemployment hit 40%, 40.8% in the Wide Bay region this year. Health, hospitality, and agricultural jobs are still in demand. And we've had a look in previous videos at some of the agricultural jobs out there. They expect you to go and live on their farm, and then you have to pay for the accommodation costs. So if you're a local, why would you be paying double rent? You know, they're too set up and they're too used to these itinerant workers coming in. You know, and that's part of their deal. They want to make their money back. They want to keep their costs down, and charging accommodation is obviously part of that. And they've invested in that infrastructure, so you can't blame them. A recruitment advisor says keeping a routine is important if you find yourself out of work. Well, I mean, that's the challenge of working from home, to be brutally honest. Keeping a routine. There is one good thing about going and driving to work. You've got that break. You've got that trip to the office. That's something I've really had to deal with. I mean, you can see I'm wearing my Hawaiian shirt today. That's one of the advantages of working from home. I don't need to worry about getting dressed up for the office. Or going out, you know, I can chuck a suit on for meetings, although I really have started caring a lot less these days. I guess it's more that the closer I approach to 40, the less I care. Is that just me, guys? Or let me know in the chat if that's a universal thing. So what advice would you give to our young journalist, Chris, who's been 6 months? So 6 months, is he still making... No, wait, no. 6 months he couldn't. He couldn't. Did he lose his job 6 months ago and he's still looking for it? Okay, no. He finished on Friday and started studying on Monday. Well, no, that maybe just started this week and is reaching out, but we'll have to see. He's just started completing... How long does it take to do it can't take long to do a barista course, can it? It can't be a 6-month course, can it? To make coffee? All my staff learned how to make coffee on the job, and I was terrified that they'd realize they'd get paid more as a barista than as an architectural student. Oh, well, good luck to the young guy. I'd personally look, you know, while you're doing that, I'd try and leverage your journalism skills and your local connections to create another source of income, particularly with online, you know, local media. You could do it all yourself. You could compete, it'd be slower and harder, but why not? I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll put my thing up there. You know, what would your suggestions be to someone who's facing unemployment right now in a regional area like that? Would you stay or would you leave? You don't really have the choice these days. He can't move back to his family who's over in WA, can he? Until the borders open. It's funny times. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you all in the next episode.